Come here. Hello, welcome to Chicken Happy Hour at Cedar Woods Farm. I have a different Carl co-anchoring with me today, and the other Carl is not happy about it. This is Carl Growley, or Carl G, as I call her, and she's had a foot injury, so she hasn't been in a video lately, but she is back, and she's very light. She's apparently she's a lot lighter than the basic Carl that's usually on the show. Anyway, we hope you are well, and we're up at the barn. It's about, I don't know, like 11 a.m. We're early today, and hold on just a second. Girls, get off that. Okay, sorry. They were into the bread that I brought for the emus. So we're up at the barn early for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's going to be really hot, so we're trying to beat the heat, so we're in the shade. That's nice. But also, the drink that we are going to make, the cocktail that we're doing today, is considered a morning time drink. It's like a mimosa. You know, you kind of think of brunch with this drink. So we're going to do a Bloody Mary, which we've never done on the show. It's basically tomato juice, vodka, and lots of spices and seasoning kind of stuff. So I've cheated a little bit, and I'll tell you what I would do if I were at the house making this, as opposed to being in a barn with a bunch of chickens. So that kind of changes things a little bit. Carl G is very chill. Okay, gosh, you're just light as a feather. Ugh. Okay, so we are gonna make this drink, and the other Carl's probably gonna jump up here because she's a little pissy. I think she knows that a video is happening, and she is not center. Carl, you'll be in the next one. Ow, don't bite me. Shh. Okay, so a little bit about the Bloody Mary. This drink, they think, and like all of these cocktails we do, there's like 50 million different origin stories, but from what... Hey! Get off of her! Pigekin! Oh my goodness! Everybody's been beating up on Pigekin today, and I don't understand it. Look how sweet she is. Pigekin, are you okay? Good Lord. Okay, sorry. So, anyway, there were a ton of different origin stories, but the one I liked is in the early 1920s, okay, this bartender named Pete. Sorry, it is hard for me to concentrate right now because there's so much drama. This bartender named Pete at a bar in Paris was aware of this new liquor that was being brought into Paris by Russians. And so what happened, if you remember your history lessons, or if you had a great English teacher like me who taught Animal Farm, then you know all about the Bolshevik Revolution, which happened in 1917. So, they killed the royal family. Everybody was flipped out. So there was a lot of movement out of Russia. And so these Russians, some of them poured into Paris, And they brought along a clear spirit that smelled vaguely of rotten potatoes called vodka. And so, anywho, this guy, Pete, who's working in the bar, was trying to think of something to do with this this new liquor. And at that time, there was a big craze for canned tomato juice for whatever reason. So he mixed those two and was like, okay. So they started serving it. And there you go, the Bloody Mary. And it's some theories are that he did in fact name it after Queen Mary, or Mary Tudor of England, who had a bunch of Protestants killed. She was hardcore, and like over 300 people. And so they called her. Her nickname was actually Bloody Mary. So maybe, I don't know, maybe not. So, but that was the story that I thought was interesting. Something else kind of interesting about this drink, which I do know is true, is that, you've heard of hair of the dog that bit you. That's kind of what this drink is considered. It's like an antidote to a hangover. So, and I can kind of see that because it's tomato juice, it's salty, I guess you could argue it's got electrolytes that, are going to bring your system back after you've been inebriated the night before. And that may be true if we weren't also adding vodka to the drink. So I don't know. It seems that kind of makes null and void that it's good for you. But anyway, that's just a little bit of background. And something I like about this, and some people say, well, to mixology, the Bloody Mary is like crock pot chicken compared to Le Cordon Bleu. It's kind of a, how do I say it? It's a basic drink. It's tomato juice and vodka. But what I like about it is that kind of is just a blank canvas that you then put your Worcestershire sauce and your hot sauce and your cayenne pepper and your horseradish and your lemon juice and your celery salt, just all this other fun stuff to make it as spicy, or like I'll throw in clam juice. I mean, it is a free-for-all with this drink. So I like that about it. So anyway, and it's tomato juice, so you do kind of on some level feel like, well, this is good for me, right? So it's not. Okay, gosh, that was crazy with Pidgekin. Poor little thing. She's tiny. She's a what is she? Americana, I think, or Araucana. I forget what kind of bird she is, but we call her Pidgekin because she looks like and is the size of a pigeon. But they've been, I just noticed it this morning and I couldn't tell who it was, but she's getting beat up on. We don't like that. Oh, and here's a little drama story for you. Oh my gosh. So, Bob the Peacock. No big surprise. So we've been putting him out in the day, letting him back in with the chickens to roost at night. That seemed to be going okay. Yesterday, as we were walking up to the barn for the little morning checkup, and we feed them, make sure they've got water and all that, I heard this huge commotion, chickens screaming. I walk up, Bob was having a fit, chasing one of the chickens, Helga to be specific, one of my big red New Hampshire Reds. And she was, in fact, hiding behind, like under that corn thing. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen. And her head, it looked like she had been scalped. So, long story short, Helga's okay. In fact, I'm looking at her right now. She was in shock for a few hours yesterday. I was worried about her. But today she's fine. It's not even red anymore. It just she just looks bald. And as a result, Bob is now, because we don't do violence around these parts. So Bob has got it pretty good, because at night now we put him in the new green part